in January 1973. But for the pilots in the air that day, success meant something totally different.
That was our job, was to protect the strike crew. And that was our main job. We were target combat air patrol. We were supposed to keep the MiGs away from the strike crew. And that particular day, I think we did a pretty successful job.
Hello everybody. Give me 1 second here. It always takes a little moment to get everything situated on here. I just wish they had a multi-regional scan on here. I'm pretty sure it's coming soon, but always takes a little bit of time. We're gonna have PA Storm Tracker's feed on here in just a little bit. It's my first time being able to use their feed, so I'm still having to set things up, of course. Always got to make sure to show their name if you're gonna put them on the screen. So with that in mind, we're gonna do a couple of quick things here real quick, and we're gonna be set to go. Also, don't forget to hit that like button today. Really would appreciate that if you could hit that like button. I've literally just finished eating. I got home not too long ago, so I was actually trying to get in a little bit earlier than when we did, but can't help how things go sometimes at work. Okay. Still got feel like I still have some garlic breadcrumbs on my face. So today we're going to be covering the Appalachia region. So service may be questionable at times. We also may deal with a few issues in regards to visibility as well. Obviously, with us being in the mountain ranges, we may get some clear views and we may get absolute trash. It's no one's fault, really. It's just a tough environment to chase in, but always gotta say how much I appreciate the chasers, especially the ones that go out in crazy environments like this. So, quick rundown as I'm getting things set up here. Today, here is our enhanced risk. This got upgraded earlier this morning, late this morning, earlier this afternoon. The main threat for today is damaging winds. There's a 30% risk area. There is no hatched risk with that. There is a 5% tornado threat. It's a little further off towards the west, and the storms are now starting to enter this environment here. So we're going to be on the watch for damaging winds and tornadoes. There are no hatched risks today, so we're just 100% locked in on just any and all particular severe hazards. I'll probably be making a voting poll in a second to see just exactly what you guys think is going to be the dominant hazard. I mean, obviously with it being a wind-driven enhanced risk, I expect most people to vote that. Well, I might make it a trick question, but in the meantime though, let me finish getting this set up here. Yeah, I think this is exactly how I'm going to do it. Alright. So gotta add the scene, of course. I have to add this all in, of course. So no, we're not adding existing. We gotta create a new one. Okay. Yep. You'll get to see something pretty trippy here in a second, so just bear with me on this one. Again, also shout out to PA Storm Trackers. If you haven't already subscribed to these guys, definitely do so. These guys have been around for a minute. They've been very helpful for severe weather events in the past. It's the first time I've gotten to ever work with them, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. All right, let's make sure that we get we set up their nameplate as well. Also, if you guys have any preferences to where I put this feed at, let me know in the chat. Hey, what's up, Emmanuel? Yeah, I'm gonna be busy again. Looks like for sure. I'm waiting to see if the SPC ends up pulling the trigger on this upcoming weekend here for Easter. I do think that could be another prominent setup as well. There are a couple of fail parameters with that though. Looks like they already got some hail. Sheesh. I think I'm actually gonna put it right here. I'm just gonna leave it right here. Ooh, that's awesome. Make sure you guys are careful. I know you're Skywarn certified, so I'm sure you have a pretty good idea of what you're doing. You know, always exercise caution. Never hurts to say that. Okay. So let's get the last piece de resistance on here, and we'll get the nameplate set up here. All right. What? Name is not already in use. The hell? Oh, come on, OBS. Don't do this with me right now. Ah, okay, I know what the problem is. I can fix this. This is easy. Alright, easy fix. Now, let's try this again. So, apparently, I can't make duplicate channels on here, obviously. So, I have to make sure that the names are different for each scene on here. So, that's the problem that I was running into. Alright. Okay. Ah. We'll go with our typical color on here, and then we'll go on from there. Sorry for taking so long. There we go. Shrink that down and fit it onto the feed here. There we go. Should fit nicely, and then we'll edit it as we go to get it a little bit more, give it a little bit more pizzazz. But for right now, this is what we're doing. Everybody can see that, right? It isn't taking up too much of the screen. All right. We don't want to exit out now. All right, great. Hey, what's up, MX Rogue? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever worked with them. I didn't even really get a chance to like set everything up like I wanted to. They just gave me the go ahead. Obviously, I'm not gonna show any feeds on here, and without permission. Stream sniping can get you in an awful lot of trouble. But since we're set to go now here, wow, look at that reflectivity return here. Look at the DBZ on this. This is our severe thunderstorm warning here. This is most definitely a hail producer. I mean, it's pretty safe to say. Whenever you start seeing this darker shade of pink here, heading into the white colors, even at times, more than likely you see it. You're gonna see some kind of hail, and potentially some big time hailstones from this too. I wonder if this is the storm that they're on right now. This is confirmed to have 1-inch hail. Because they definitely... the advertisement. I'll fix that up so that way you don't have to deal with that in just a moment. Get out of here. In fact, we'll take it a little... We'll go a little further here. Yep. Okay. Alright, now they got that set, that all squared away here. We're good now. Oh no. I did something else stupid. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Okay. A lot of chaos to start the stream. Like I said, hope everyone's doing well right now. Thanks for tuning in. We're sitting at currently 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. There is that odd chance that we end up getting a potential tornado or two. I'm waiting to see if we get that low-level jet to kick in. And the other question I have is, what are the dew points over this area currently? Because I mentioned in yesterday's video that also could be a fail parameter as well. The moisture return seemed a little bit sketchy towards this region. There were a couple of pockets where we were seeing those dew points getting into the mid 60 degree plus regions, but it's variable. I was gonna say that it's pretty variable at this point. We'll have to see if that ends up verifying or not. This could end up being either or. It could end up being a pretty busy time, or it could be pretty chill. So either way, I'm so sorry, by the way, T-Bird. I completely missed your chat message there. Glad to see the storm skipping you. Unless you wanted to see it, then that's fine too. In that case, I'm sorry it's skipping you. But I think you're going to get something before all is said and done here. I gotta sign myself back into Gmail because I kicked myself out. Amazing the kind of day I've had here. I even dislocated my shoulder earlier. I put it, and don't worry, I put it back into place. The only thing it did was make me mad, if anything. No, oh, I just did it again too. Wow. I just can't win today, it seems. Alright, let me make sure that... Can we hear these guys? I just feel like I'm fumbling a lot today, and I'm really sorry. What the... Alright, hang on a minute. There we go. Let me know in chat if you guys can hear them. Probably not a whole lot going on right now, since they're not really dealing with too much. Skies are relatively light right now. Yeah, you guys are able to at least hear them now. Okay. All right. Once again, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, by the way. Definitely helps. We'll get some music on in just a moment, too. All right. So there's the voting poll for you guys, by the way. I'd be a little bit more fluid right now, but my laptop's down and we don't have a third screen right now. We really need 3 screens to kind of operate at peak capacity here. I mean, we can do all right with 2, but 3 is definitely better. That much I will say. Music will be coming on in a couple of minutes as well. Okay. All right. I'll probably turn down storm trackers right now since not much is going on. I get paid next week. Just relax, man. Let's not get a little too far ahead of ourselves, please. We don't need you to do that. I appreciate the gesture, though. I still need to get that weather radio. Haven't even had a chance to do that yet. It's been so busy. Like, I was wrecked last week from work, so I didn't even get a chance to go to Micro Center. So I haven't even had a chance to get that. Besides, it takes time for that money from YouTube to come in too, so there's also that. But yeah, it's coming soon though. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, sir. I will not be pleased with you if you do that. I do not want you to empty your bank. I appreciate the kindness, folks, but you do not need to go broke because of me. You cannot go broke because of me. You still have to take care of yourselves. Well, I'm looking forward to having one either way. So, and thank you, by the way. I don't know if I said it before or if I haven't said it I'll say it another couple times at least. But yes, thank you for that. Dude, get that drone. I just want you to make the promise that if you get that drone, please show it on the server, because that would be awesome. I don't think we've had anyone in the server, in the Discord server, have a show off their drone, which would be pretty cool. But eventually I'll get with the program. But for right now, getting the vehicle 100% here, getting my own personal vehicle 100% here is what my objective is right now. Uh-oh, is Discord down? Well, dang. Can't see anything right now on Discord. That makes me sad. Oh, you have 2 drones. Why didn't you say anything before now? Well, it's down on my end, that's for sure. It says loading chunk 21905 failed. And it is just showing a grayed out screen with a cat on it. So, looks like Discord is not working right now. That sucks. That's probably where some of the other regulars are right now, is either on Discord or they're just going through the work day or school day, etc. Is what it is, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of a closer look at this storm here. We have another storm here that also has severe warn, and also has pretty good indication of hail here too. I'm good, Renita. That's understandable if you're watching for a little bit. Right now, not much is going on. This is going to be kind of one of those 50-50 types deals where maybe you'll see something out of this, maybe you won't. Yeah, I mean, well, that's not surprising to see that based off of the reflectivity return we had here. Look at that. Now, one interesting thing about this storm over here that's toward St. Albans is it is starting to form a little bit of a hook there. We're going to need to watch that one. We're so close to the radar, though, it's going to be pretty challenging to see it off rip, any sort of rotation. I appreciate that, Renita. But yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to see anything in regards to rotation off rip. It's going to take a little while to see anything with us being in such close proximity. As we go further... Wait, what? Is this actually a town name in West Virginia? What? uh, I'm not the only one seeing that, right? What the? Sometimes you see. I, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. I honestly don't. I know I'm not tripping, right? And ironically, this storm looks like it's trying to rotate right next to it. Will it actually do it? Right now, doesn't look like it's going to immediately, but still, that's wild. This has kind of got that look of maybe being on the verge of becoming a supercell, if not a elevated supercell. So this is by far the strongest storm so far, and then we have this one right here, a little further away from the radar, so we'll get a good idea of some of the wind potential with this. I would expect this one to have increased damaging wind potential more so than a tornado threat starting out. There is a chance that we may see this uptrend and maybe have the potential to maybe drop a brief tornado. We'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But yeah, the wind potential is definitely there. We have maybe a couple pockets here where we see winds on the radar getting up to about 60 miles an hour here. This is over towards, or just to the east of South Webster. Then we have a pretty strong storm over here towards West Union that also has the potential to produce some really strong straight line winds as well. Baseball sized hail potential with this supercell, by the way. By the way, to anyone that's curious, PA Storm Trackers is currently in Point Pleasant. I don't think they might not be on this storm, which is kind of a good thing, because if this is producing baseball-sized hail, or baseball-sized hail, they're probably going to need a new windshield after this. There's a chance that this could become tornado warned shortly. I'm really taking note of this inflow notch here. Looks like there's maybe a gust front right here, but it does seem like it wants to at least try and do something. In fact, that last scan that we looked at before the loop started, it did start to look a little bit better on velocity. Up, what do you know? There it is. Up. Wrong one. Sorry, y'all. This is our first tornado warning of the stream. This one is for Putnam, Kanawha, Clay, and Fayette counties. These are all in West Virginia. This is over St. Albans, moving east at a blazing 65 miles an hour and is capable of baseball-sized hail. Institute, Charleston, Jefferson, Dunbar, St. Albans, Sissonville, Nitro, South Charleston, West Virginia. Wow, that actually is a town name. Tornado and Cross Lanes are in this storm right now. Then Coal Fork, this will be on you guys within the next 5, and then Pinch and Elkview But in the next 10 minutes, this one will be on you guys. This will also be heading towards Pond Gap. The tornado warning, by the way, replaces the severe thunderstorm warning issued for the same area. This is again a radar indicated tornado. Also, with the storm also has the potential to produce up to baseball sized hail. So definitely want to get that car inside the carport or under some kind of awning to try to protect it as best as possible here, if you can do so safely. It's going to be hard to see velocity on here with us being in, again, like I said before, being in such close proximity with the radar site. But if I were a betting man, it's probably over Lincoln Park right now in Jefferson. Wow, that is crazy. I cannot get over the fact that there is a town called Tornado in West Virginia. If you asked me, I would have told you were crazy. But y'all learned something new today. We all learned something new. Anyway. Whew. That little area where we're getting that damaging wind potential seems like it's starting to become a little bit better organized as well. Somewhere along this corridor here is where I would expect those strongest winds to be occurring. And then we also have to watch this new storm over here towards Maysville. Well, it's not necessarily new. This does have a tornado possible attack. There is that little inflow notch right there. So I'll have to keep an eye on this. This might be our next tornado warning if this continues onward. And if it decides to uptrend any. Oh, this is showing the last 100 scans. That's why this is moving so slow. Let's go ahead and fix that. Hey, what's up, Amputee? We're covering some action over here towards the Appalachia here. We got a tornado warning and the potential for up to baseball-sized hail with the storm, by the way. Which is pretty rare for this region, if I were to say so myself. You don't really hear much about hail getting much bigger than about maybe 2 inches, typically over here. So about, I would say, lime or hen egg size. I don't know how well this is going to go, considering the fact that we're so close to the radar site, but I want to try this. Kind of reminds me of the this kind of reminds me of what I used to see on WSB TV here when I was a kid, when they were first kind of experimenting with 3D radar here. I think they still got a little work to do with this, but this is pretty cool. I wonder if this is the cell that they're on. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Okay, so this is where PA Storm Trackers is right here. They're over towards Point Pleasant. The storm with the tornado warning is ahead of them, and it's off to the southeast here. They're probably not going to catch that storm, considering the fact that this is moving at 65 plus. So they're going to kind of jump. They're probably going to jump on this South Webster and Gallipolis. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Gallipolis, or well, whatever. The storm that's heading into Point Pleasant is probably the one they're going to jump on here. There's just no way they're going to be able to catch this with as fast as this thing's booking it. There's also a chance that they may hang back and wait to see what happens with this West Union storm, or they just might drive towards it. Either way, with the way things look right now in their stream, it does look like they're driving towards something. There is a chance, though, they might be close to this, or closer than we think, but we'll have to see. Let me check my phone and see if Discord's working. It could just be a desktop thing. Give me a couple of seconds here. I know my bed's not made, but at least it's not terrible in here. It's not completely awful. I do need to get that washer fixed, though, before it gets bad. I'll be right back. Might need to get to a different radar site for this one. Rotation with this one's still kind of broad, but definitely still needs to be watched. Okay. Yeah, Discord's acting funny on my phone right now, too, it seems. Oh, well. Let me plug this up, then. Just a moment. Yeah, sure taking its sweet time to load. That goes without saying. I feel like it's completely frozen my phone too now. Dang. Alright. I guess we'll just have to work with what we got. Alright. We're starting to see an uptick in hail over here towards this Concord Vanceburg storm. Starting to see a really strong return there. Let's go and look at VIL here. Oh yeah. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Essentially maxed out on those values there. And then this other storm has really started to ramp up too with its hail potential here. Those values are also starting to get maxed out, so we're going to start to see a lot more in the way of hail as we go forward here. Greatest hail potential, of course, still lies with that supercell that's not too far away from the Charleston radar site. Oh, my laptop just needed to update, so that's what it was. Okay, so now that that's actually starting to work, we might be able to actually get somewhere here. Let's go back to our regular mode here. It is really hard to see what's going on here, but hail potential still there. Can't see what's going on with the hook or the rotating part of the storm here, where things are a little bit more cumbersome, but I'm thinking that there's rotation in here somewhere, and it's just outside of Charleston. Skies are starting to get darker on PA Storm Tracker's feed finally. So it looks like they're starting to get somewhere. It just took a little while for things to kind of pick up for them. Wait, are they actually on that storm? If so, then way to go. That storm was booking. The storm is still moving at about 65 miles an hour, so it's, like I said, it's really hard to keep up with storms when they're moving at that speed. So if they manage to catch up to it from Point Pleasant to get over towards Charleston, that's impressive. That is really impressive. I guess I better charge my phone while I'm at it. No, it's a Culloden, I was about to say. They really caught up to this storm? I was about to say, that's crazy. Also, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for these guys too, PA Storm Trackers. They were generous enough to let me show their feed. I do kind of miss using Radar Mega sometimes. Only for the reason of being able to use that search bar. I want to know exactly where Culloden is. Oh yeah, computer's going slow now. Which one are they on? I can't... Is it this one? Which... Hang on, I'm trying to figure out where they are. Where are they? Daggone it. Okay, so I think we're cleared. We're just far enough away from the radar site now to where we can get a look at the hook. Doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it once did. There's still a point of rotation here, but it still looks kind of messy based off of the radar proximity, most likely. But still got to be watchful of it. This looks like it might be trying to go linear from this point now. Alright, I'm trying to look up where exactly these guys are. Culloden. This is really bugging me that I can't use a search bar on here. I don't know if it's because it'll use more information, more processing. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a huge computer whiz. I just know a couple of things. Alright, so this tornado warned storm is about to exit the warning area. It doesn't look all that impressive on reflectivity. It looks like it's kind of sheared out a bit. The winds do look like they're pretty strong though. My question is, are they going to sustain that tornado warning as they go forward? That is really the question with this next storm here. These other ones, well, Portsmouth looks kind of interesting, but we're kind of far away from this radar site. Let's go with Wilmington here so we can get a better look. We're kind of maintaining the look we've had on there. Then these other storms here, over towards Ravenswood. Kind of interesting on that, but not really anything that kind of jumps out at me as, okay, this is imminently going to try to produce a tornado or anything of the like. Alright, so I finally have figured out just where the heck these guys are. Okay. So they're pretty much right in between the two storms. I think they're going to be going after this Huntington storm here. So right about here is where these guys are. They're going to have a pretty good view of the storm that's over towards Buffalo right now. I don't know if they're going to, like I said, I don't think they're going to be able to chase this one down with as fast as it's moving. Maybe they have a shot at this Buffalo storm. And maybe that could be the big winner for them. This is a big hailer more so than anything else. And this is probably also why they're staying away from it, because that reflectivity here indicates potential for even larger hail than what the warning is highlighting. Probably, I would say the potential is there for maybe 2-inch hail, possibly just based off of VIL. It's really just dependent on how it mixes down. Tornado warning has also been allowed to expire. This hasn't popped off the screen just yet. This storm may try and recycle here. We'll need to be extra watchful of that as we go forward. It does seem like it's trying to reform that hook here. We'll have to see whether or not it ramps up on its inflow and increases its potential as it goes further off towards the east here. Kinematics are kind of in a narrow window where we have optimal tornado potential. As we go further to the east, it's actually going to start to drop off a bit. I might grab some more food while I'm at it here in the meantime, just to keep myself charged up for you guys. I will be right back. Or better yet, no. Well, I'm going to do it this way. Keep the feed up as a whole. Just turn off the camera and the mic. Alright, I'm back now. Obviously, since I'm eating right now, we're not showing the camera, but of course you'll still be able to hear me. Keeping chewing to a minimum as well, but they're getting closer to something over there with PA storm trackers here. It's going to be a real race to stay ahead of these storms here. Well, there goes that storm's tornado potential. It looks like it's gone outflow dominant, but as the potential produce maybe up to 60 plus mile per hour winds here shortly. May even go up to 70 here. This definitely seems like it's that's what I was saying earlier, amputee. That's what I was saying earlier. I was just like, am I seeing things, or is that just me? I'm like, like, wow, this is real. And I looked at the warning earlier. It even included the town tornado, West Virginia. I was like, what are the odds? And ironically, it was a tornado warning that they were under. Ow. That hurt. I just knocked my phone onto my big toe. I'm trying to figure out their exact location right now. My guess is that they're somewhere on I-77 or maybe on State Route 34 here. I'm pretty sure they haven't stayed within Culloden for too much longer. Yeah, hurricane. Yeah, I did notice hurricane as well. I don't. Sometimes these town names that I see on these streams, I swear, I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. And then, I've noticed also with other states, they'll kind of copy what's going on in another state. I can't tell you how many how many Smyrnas I've seen, Mariettas, Roswells, Charlotte, and other various town names that are pretty much duplicated all throughout the lower 48 as a whole. Or Jackson. Jackson is a really common one that I've actually seen. Yep, there's hurricane right there, and then just off to the southeast is tornado. How surreal. Oh, by the way, here's another meso discussion. We're probably going to see a new watch issued in this area. I'm thinking for the most part, we're going to probably see mostly a hail threat with the chance of an odd tornado or two. I think this convective mode is kind of leaning more into that damaging wind threat. We had a very narrow window to where we had the chance of a tornado or two. Directional shear was the main reason why the tornado threat didn't get upgraded today, along with the moisture content here. A lot of these storms have elevated bases. So the threat with this is really going to be leaning more into large hail than anything else. And also damaging winds as we watch these consolidate into a big line here. Probably before long. So probably before long, we'll see this pretty much consolidate into a damaging wind threat, and then we'll watch this head out before the end of the night, and that'll be it for now. Just go and loop this real quick. Just not really a whole lot going on right now. Wasn't expected to be a widespread event. Also, in case you guys haven't already, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button for PA Storm Tractors, by the way. Definitely about sharing the love here, and I've got to say it again, I really appreciate them allowing us to show their feet on here today. Dang, I just don't understand what's going on with my Discord on the desktop. I don't know why. My phone, it works fine, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying a quick thing to see if I can get that, if I can get Discord fixed up here, guys. Sorry. The screen blacked out for a moment. This is my last real attempt at it. Wait. Hang on a minute. Okay, I think we got it to work now. Alright. Ooh, look at the shell cloud that's on stream, by the way, guys. They're gonna get a hail intercept here. That's ominous right there. I don't think they're going to get some big hail out of this one. It's going to be a lot smaller than that other supercell we were looking at earlier. That shell cloud was a real beauty, but now we're going to see what this storm's capable of here in the next few seconds here. Or next few minutes here. Well, it's moving fast enough to where it could be seconds. Alright, we're back. Wow, they went pretty far ahead with this severe thunderstorm warning. It's still capable of producing golf ball sized hail, by the way. This is the one that they're not on. They're not going to be able to catch this one, obviously. This is the one that had the tornado warning with it earlier. It's still a pretty nasty storm, producing up to golf ball sized hail. Also, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is the storm that they're on now. This does have a little inflow tail here, so we need to watch that on the south side. But no tornado possible attack with it currently. Mainly seeing 1-inch hail. Here comes the hail right now, actually. I'm going to pause the music so that way you can hear it. This is the storm that they're on right now. They're still over towards Collendon. You can actually hear the rain in the background too. I think they're already through the hail. These storms are pretty fast moving. You heard that? They said that there was actually a much more impressive hail core further off to the north. So they didn't even get the core of it. They still got a pretty good amount of action there. Uh-oh. Keep on dropping my phone today. You would absolutely live in a town called Tornado. Hey, I mean, if that's what floats your boat, man, I'm not gonna judge you. But what's most surreal about that to me is not the fact that the town is called Tornado. It's that, okay, you have. Alright, I'm gonna zoom in again so you can see it. So where is it? Where is it? I know it was there. I found it earlier. Okay, there's Tornado right here. But look off towards the northwest. We have another town called Hurricane. What are the odds? You go State Route 3 to US 60, and then from there, you go from Hurricane to Tornado. And then the craziest part about it all is that tornado was under a tornado warning now. Like I said, what are the odds? And like I said, I'm really grateful more than anything that it's lighthearted and that today's been a lighthearted enough day so where we can talk about it and kind of joke about it and whatnot.
Welcome into all of our new subs. Anybody that's watching along today, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to give us a like on our stream. And if you're just lurking and new here, you can give us a sub too, that'd be awesome. That's the best way to support us. We're gonna try to go out to the, oh boy. I can't tell. It's probably because of the storm.
Well, now that they're out of the storm, question is where are they going to go next?
Julian said we're live on Max too. We can measure real quick.
Looks like they're going to try and see if there's some bigger hail possible up to the north. I'm assuming they're going to probably try to get out ahead of this and head over towards maybe Clendon or Barron Creek. It's probably their best opportunity. Wait, what? I didn't even see this chat message here. Look a little north and halfway in between them. There's a town called Scary. West Virginia's on some different stuff, man. West Virginia is on some different stuff, I tell you. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is incredible. So let me get this straight. You have hurricane here. Off to the southeast, you have tornado here. And then off to the north of tornado, you have Scary in the middle. And it's not like there's other like aptly named towns beside all of these. This is just kind of random. Like there's tornado, there's hurricane, and then there's Scary. West Virginia, what's going on here? What's on your heart? Like honestly, what are the odds? You could make jokes saying between Orton Heights, there's scary tornadoes and hurricanes that head into Cherry Grove and belong in the Institute or... I know I'm saying a bunch of stupid stuff, but honestly, come on. Like, what in the world? This storm is still trying to get its act together. I don't think it's going to be able to do anything further to get itself organized. We're still going to watch it, but I think that outside of this corridor, this is really what we got at this point. We got what we got now. Not much else is really going to pop off here. These storms further off towards the north are too weak, and there's way too much rain. Air is going to be a lot more stable towards this region, so it's whatever we have in this corridor, that's pretty much it. So 9 of you have voted so far, by the way. Thank you for that also. Hope you know how much I appreciate that. But what was I gonna say? Interesting thing is, a lot of you are thinking that tornado threat's gonna be the most significant of the evening here. I'm not so sure about that now. I mean, you could have made an argument with any of them, and that's why I like making these questions open-ended. Kind of makes you have to think just a little bit. Oh. Alright, let's get my phone back up and running here, since I keep dropping it and restart it on me. See, we're getting close to 20 likes, by the way, also. Thank you for that. And we just hit 10 likes. We actually have a tie here between the wind and the tornado threat here. I'm going to try to see if I can set this up so that way we can have a little bit better range of motion here in regards to toggling in between chat and also going in between other windows as well. So there's a decent DOT network over here towards West Virginia as well. Oh, looks like we have some hail fog here. Oh, I have to set all that up again. I keep forgetting. Uh-oh, did we lose the feed? No? Okay, it's still there. I was about to say, I hope we didn't lose it. Let's see if I can adjust the view so it doesn't look so bad for you guys. West Virginia full of trees? Yeah. I agree. I agree with you on that 100%. I'm still trying to fix this. Oh. But yeah, you can see the hail fog now pretty clearly. There we go. Look at him driving through the hail fog. It's pretty surreal. I've driven through something like that before. In fact, I drove through it last week, actually. Hail fog is pretty crazy. It's an intense little story there. It's an intense feeling sometimes. Especially when it happens at night. Also, guys, if you're tuning in for the first time this evening, definitely make sure you're hitting that like button. Also, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button too. Definitely helps get that channel this channel moving here. Also, if you're new to, this is the first time you heard of PA Storm Trackers here, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for their stream and their channel as well. Shout out to them again for allowing us to be able to show their feed. Okay, there we go. That's better. Haven't really seen much in the way of lightning. That's one thing I am kind of bummed about. I do love getting look at some good lightning. It's kind of been few and far in between today, sadly. So we've officially broke the 20 like mark, by the way. Thank you again, guys. And don't forget to show PA Storm Tracker some love as well. Again, really appreciate them allowing us to show their feed today. Alright, so I'm trying to think, what exactly should we be doing now at this point, as we also now have a new tornado warning. It's that same storm from earlier. It did look like it was trying to cycle back. Looks like it finally went ahead and did something. This is still looking like it's a radar indicated tornado warning. This is for Greenbrier County. This is located over Duo. This also has potential for up to golf ball sized hail as well. Make sure you send reports of any hail if you happen to be in these areas over here, as well as large limbs that may end up being knocked down by the storm. But this will be in effect until 7:15 Eastern. Okay. Okay, so they finally put a tornado possible on this storm here. It's heading into Milton and is going to be, ironically, heading into the same area that we were talking about earlier, called Hurricane. So we'll have to see if this ends up doing anything, and then we still have to watch this area over here where they've just issued the severe thunderstorm watch. Here's our point of rotation, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. It's over towards Modoc still. It might be a new point of rotation, really, because this looks like this was the old one. Where's the radar site? This is in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm waiting to see if it gets a little bit closer so we could maybe switch over to this one towards Roanoke, but I still think it's going to be too far. That's fine, dude. It's a little different from what we were previously using, so I mean, obviously there's going to be a little confusion. It still takes time for me to even get used to it, and I've been using this for about close to a month now, so no need to, hopefully you aren't beating yourself up over it, because I know I did. And again, you aren't the one presenting the stream here. I'm still watching this storm over here just in case it gets going. Hi, Mia. Just in case it decides to go tornado warned here, and it very well might. I'm keeping a close eye on this area. These next couple scans may determine a lot with this system here. Oh, I know. Aren't you over towards, like, maybe the edge of that marginal risk heading into Slight? And your main threat tonight probably is going to be wind, maybe hail. Tornado threat's going to be pretty low for your area. I can care less, truthfully. Well, what will you say whenever you end up under a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning then? Because I can handle it. I can handle being in one, and I can handle not being in one. How about you? Since we want to go there. Okay, good. Good. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself. In that case. But yeah, I'm kind of relaxing. Aw. The EAS shouldn't scare you. That's when you know it's go time. It's whenever you sound the EAS. Whenever you hear that EAS sound, that little beeping noise that you either come to know and love or come to dread. Or at least when it comes to weather. If it's anything else, then I'm probably panicking too, I can't lie. Yeah, well, it was a pretty lengthy stretch here. Preparing for another one, so there's that. But it doesn't look to be as bad, so no complaints there. But yeah, whereas one thing starts to calm down, another thing ramps up, and my job's been kind of ramped up lately, so there's that. Even dislocated my shoulder today. But I'm not feeling all that bad though. If anything, I'm just angry that it happened. Like, what are even the odds that something like that happens to me? Completely ruined any chance, but it did completely ruin any chance of me getting to the gym, which I'm especially mad about. Yeah, it's much better now, though. I did leg day on Saturday. That's the problem. I already did legs. I do my legs at the end of the week. Yeah, I already did my legs on Saturday. And even when I do other parts of my body, or I work on other parts of my body in the gym, like the upper body, I still incorporate something with legs just to kind of keep things going. Not to mention, I always try to implement core, especially at least 1 or 2 core exercises, or something that kind of forces me to use my core a little bit more than the typical workout. Helps me keep my stamina up. Hopefully it'll be to a point where it helps me keep my stamina up during the streams too. Because I remember in the early days, streaming 8 hours wasn't really that big a problem. Up until late last year. That's when it really started to get hard. So, definitely trying to do better. And then I'm always at my best after getting to the gym, being on a good regiment like I once was. Because I'll put it to you like this: I'm a heck of a lot smaller than I was about a year and a half ago. This is still trying to do a thing over here, over towards Hurricane. I still can't believe that. West Virginia, what are you doing? Honestly. We're going to need to watch this. This might do the same thing as this lead storm out here has done. Might be a meso replacement going on here as well with this storm. Because now we're seeing a new hook forming on the tail end of this. So it leads me to think that we're getting a new meso as this old one's dying out. So this is a cyclic supercell here that's trying to, or it's trying to develop cyclic characteristics here. And then we have this other one here, which I seriously think it's going to try to do the same thing as this storm that we're looking at now that still has the warning with it. Got another severe thunderstorm warning over here towards central Kentucky now. Dude, come on. This is mainly for 1-inch hail here and also 60-mile-per-hour winds. What's going on over here towards Iowa? We got a whole bunch of special weather statements here. Huh? There's nothing. Oh, so strong winds are going to be a factor. It's not necessarily a severe threat, it's just strong winds in general. Ooh, that hurt. Okay, I felt that one. There's a storm back towards Ohio that has incredible structure with it right now. Or there was one about an hour ago. Alright. So what should I do here, folks, from here? It really seems like this storm is still kind of holding up, but it's starting to lose its oomph here. Let me check a different radar site here while I'm at it. Yeah, it looks like this storm's losing it. So really it's these two storms that might have increased tornado potential. Damaging winds still seem like they're going to be a factor for a little longer here. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same. Uh, so I'm trying to think, what should I do here? Should I call it an evening or what? Because that window is just about shut now, I would say. Yeah, what do you guys want me to do? I mean, where's my trash bag at? I need to get ready to take out the trash from my room soon anyway. What are my thoughts on the SBC overlook or outlook over the next few days? Well, I'm not really sure what to make of it, MX. You wish Georgia went by that fast? Well, this is just one of those rare instances. Sometimes they can get big time weather, other times these guys will get next to nothing, and so far it seems like that's what this is. But I always kind of knew the window with this one was going to be short, so I'm not all that surprised. But MX, I can do a discussion if you. I can do a brief overview of next week or this week. Jesus, I'm already looking ahead. Yeah, we can do that real quick. We can go ahead and get that set up. Alright, give me a second, guys. I don't even know how to use my own setup anymore. There we go. Let's make sure that we have the weather-wise map available on the bottom part of the screen here. Let's do this. And we'll do this. And then this. Probably make this a little smaller so that way it's a little easier to see everything. But this is kind of what we're dealing with right now. Not a whole lot going on based off of what the SBC is talking about, but we still do have a day 4 and a day 5. As far as the tornado threat's concerned with those days, a little bit questionable. I am kind of interested in day 7 and 8. I do think that there is some potential to be had there. I'm waiting to see whether or not they end up pulling the trigger on the Easter Day weekend. we were to go ahead and take a look at the weather models here, this is where things kind of get a little bit interesting. And I talked about this in moderate detail within last night's video. If I were to go ahead and look at the weather model here, pay close attention to the date. Obviously, over the course of the next couple of days, it's kind of quiet. Here is our Thursday event. Like I said, I don't expect anything major to come out of this. Really think this is going to kind of be like tonight's setup over here towards the Appalachia. It's going to kind of be more of a prominent shortwave event more so than anything else. This is a new feature that I've seen right here that I'm kind of interested in. This kind of piques my interest even more in regards to the potential for a setup for the Easter Sunday weekend. And it's kind of concerning considering the fact that both 420 and Easter fall on the same day, so a lot of people are going to be out and about. So could be problematic here if this does turn into a volatile setup. These contours right here, looks like right around sunset kind of pop up towards this region here. I'm particularly watching over towards Oklahoma City, areas just off to the west of Dallas in particular. So we get into the overnight hours, we'll watch this trough kind of deepen a little bit further and also evolve into another setup where we're looking at the Midwest and the Ozarks here for severe potential once again. Now, what I mentioned last night is if I were to go ahead and show the Euro in comparison to what we have just seen here on the GFS, it leads to a little bit of discrepancy on models here. 18Z is loading, so we're going to have to actually go back to 12, which I kind of hate doing. But if we go back to the lunchtime models, we'll be in range. And then here you go. This is heading into Friday, Thursday. It's a little bit, there has been a little bit of an uptrend here with the Euro signal. We're getting into Friday, kind of one of those kind of signals that doesn't really look like, you know, it doesn't really look all that impressive in regards to severe weather. The signal has improved ever so slightly, whereas last night we were kind of looking towards the Texas Panhandle for initiation for Saturday's setup. Now we're kind of leaning a little bit closer towards an area similar to the GFS at this point. We go over here and look towards Sunday. Now we're starting to look a little bit closer to what the GFS scenario is here. So we're starting to finally get some model agreement. Like I said, this is not a guarantee that we'll end up seeing a risk on 419 and 420 just yet, but my confidence is increasing that the SBC is going to see this and probably go up with a risk, put up a risk possibly maybe by tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see what 18Z Euro has to offer, but we're still waiting for that to come in right now. We're only it's only on its 45th hour. It's actually moving pretty quick, but we're still a ways off here, as you can see. And even as we get towards that 144th hour, we're still a ways off, and we're just more or less kind of at the edge of range here. So I'm gonna go back to the GFS for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that shortwave here, so that way we can get a better idea of Thursday and Friday setup, and then kind of go on from that point. We're more or less at this point just kind of working with what we have available. Excuse me. Quick little update here just to make sure that we haven't missed anything. No tornado warnings of any kind, which is something I'm cool with personally. Alright, so now, yeah, Georgia's fine in the meantime. We'll have some showers and storms here and there, but severe weather potential as of right now is pretty low. Up until maybe next week. At this point, though, it's not really all that clear based off of model data, so I'm not too concerned at this point in time. So you can relax, Renita. If something does come up, you will know. I will let you know. Not a problem. Alright, so shortwave isn't even popping up all that well on GFS for Thursday, so that threat might actually downtrend to marginal. More prominent threat definitely pops up on Friday here. Kind of more interested in Saturday, of course, and then Sunday being another I would say decent potential day with decent potential as well. I wouldn't expect any high-end outbreak as of yet, but the signals that I'm seeing definitely lean towards potential being there. And this could be a pretty widespread event for Easter Sunday as well. Not a problem, Renita. I'm happy that you rely on me. You have a good night. I'll probably hang around for a little longer, but that's probably gonna be about it. Okay. Guess we'll go to low-level jet too while we're at it. Just kind of keep everything square, so to speak. Low-level jet actually looks pretty solid towards Iowa and Missouri for Thursday. My question are those upper-level ones. I do think that there's something there, but it's not anything that kind of stands out. Friday kind of piques my interest a little bit as well. Definitely leaning towards a damaging wind event. You can kind of see those wind barbs kind of pushing off in a similar direction to the ones that were in the upper levels as well. So for the most part, I'm expecting a damaging wind event for Friday. So we get into Saturday, later into the evening, that low-level jet kind of peaks right around the time I would expect that storm initiation to occur. And I really am concerned about an overnight tornado threat, especially with the way this low-level jet is positioned out ahead of our initiation zone. So it kind of looks like it might be in a good spot here. Again, this is the GFS we're looking at. Euro is kind of on the edge of range here, so to speak. We go ahead and get into Easter Sunday itself. Look at the area that pops up right over here. Kind of matches up perfectly based off GFS runs here. Euro runs, again, were kind of variable, so a lot of questions to be had there. But looks like that quad state region will be active yet again as we head into April. Into the end of April here, especially for Easter Sunday. I don't know why I said the end of April. Obviously, we haven't even hit mid-April. Here's a look at our dew points. Here's Thursday. Ample moisture. Better return on Friday. See a good return on Saturday. Kind of subpar. And then Sunday, a much more rich moisture return there as well. So while it doesn't seem like a whole lot right now, there's still plenty to watch. It's kind of conditional, I would say, MX. The most notable parameter that I've seen, though, by far, has really had a lot to do with the instability. So let's move towards Thursday. This is actually a bit of an uptrend from what I saw yesterday here. Here's a sounding. Marginal tornado threat. Like I said, those low-level winds are good. The issue is these storms are most likely going to be elevated here, especially with those lapse rates being mid-level. Those lapse rates being subpar at the lower to mid-levels here. This definitely is a solid hail sounding, though. If that lower level shear was weaker, I would expect bigger hail out of this too. So we could see damaging winds out of this, and then here is Friday. Instability is ample as well. We're getting into the 1,000+ range pretty easily. Kind of a similar deal to the other setups here. Directional shear is going to be the limiting factor on tornado genesis, but some are still possible. It's just going to kind of be few and far in between. And then here we are looking at Saturday. Instability is a little bit of a question for Saturday right now. I do think we'll see an uptrend with this, though, considering all the other parameters being there. And here's Sunday right here. This is along that corridor where we would expect that low-level jet to be at its best, and there you go. Look at that. That's a good hodiograph right there. Low cloud bases based off the LFC and LCL. Moisture could be a little bit better, but still will be sufficient enough. Thermodynamics could be a little bit questionable as well at this point, but outside of that, everything else does look like it's kind of coming together. So, like I said, Saturday and Sunday, we need to watch those. Those are day 6 and 7 out on the outlook right now. And then we still have ample instability on Monday, so we'll have to watch and see what happens there. But see, even after that point, look at how much instability that we still have as we get closer towards the end of the month. We get a little break, and then we start to see an uptrend again towards the very end of the month. Now, obviously, looking at the back end of this model run, it gets a little bit bullish, but still something we have to keep an extra close eye on, though. So, yeah, work isn't stopping for me, which I don't mind, truthfully. But just because it doesn't look like much anything right now doesn't mean it isn't anything, is I guess what I'm really trying to preach here. But yeah, everything is I think we're kind of in the mid-range here in regards to activity. I think as we get into May, it's only going to get busier. Alright, so back to weather-wise here. We're going to take a look and see just exactly what we're dealing with. Oh, not a problem. I'll probably be doing that again for tomorrow. Maybe, depending on how things go with Thursday, I might take a break on Wednesday. I'll have to see. Or maybe we'll take a break tomorrow. I don't know. It really just depends on what the SPC decides to do, and then we'll probably just do another rundown with the model data that we have available. It'll probably be easier to do it then, because then we'll be completely within range of the Euro then. And maybe even in range of a couple other models. No matter what time I'm looking at making a video, whether it's lunchtime or dinner time. And I'll have a video. I think I'll have a video up either way. I have plenty of extra content for you guys ahead as well, so. So make sure you're looking forward to that. Shoot, I'll probably hang out for another 5 minutes, and then I'm probably am gonna rest up. Try to let my shoulder recover a little bit and then figure out what to do next. I still can't believe I dislocated my shoulder. I mean, it's back in place for the most part, but I'm just mad. I just don't understand how that even happens. Oh boy. Oh, one other thing I'm gonna do before I go, though, I do need to take a look at the storm reports today. We've had no reports of tornadoes, by the way. Also, in that poll, too. In regards to reports today, we have had 24 hail reports and 12 wind reports, including 2 significant hail reports, which is hail greater than 2 inches in diameter. You can never tell sometimes. I mean, the thread isn't over, but the stream's pretty much over at this point. And both the significant hail reports, by the way, did occur in West Virginia. Most likely with that storm that had the potential for up to baseball-sized hail. Well, actually, no. I stand corrected. It was a little over towards the western part of West Virginia. I can actually look and see just what exactly we ended up getting out of those reports, so to speak. Okay, so we had... Oh, wow, we even had hail denting the siding of houses. This was in Putnam County, West Virginia, and Cabell. We had hen egg or 2-inch size hail in Cabell County, which is 1 mile east of Athalia, and then 2 miles east-northeast of Hurricane. In Putnam County, we had hail denting cars and side housing. So significant hail confirmed there. And there's been quite a few golf ball size hail reports as well, so kind of just under that significant threshold too. But yeah, I think we're just about done here for tonight. Appreciate you all tuning into the stream. I wish my shoulder wasn't injured. I'd be going to the gym right now. I'm so mad. But you all take care and have a wonderful rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow. Alright, MX, I'll try and remember that. You as well, thank you again. Thank you for all of you that have tuned in. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, even though the count didn't go. But you all take care and have a wonderful rest of your night.